Okay, let's have a look at this example then. First of all, we've got this curve. This is the curve y equals x squared. And we want to find out the gradient of the slope here at this point in the curve. And we can draw approximating triangles, can't we? See this point here? This slope of the triangle approximates the slope of the tangent, doesn't it? Roughly speaking, it's the same sort of value, isn't it? And you can see as we make that triangle smaller and smaller and smaller, as Q gets closer and closer and closer to P, then the gradient of the triangle will approximate the gradient of the tangent at the point. So we're going to have a look at that, investigate what value it tends towards. So first of all, the gradient of this triangle, then that's the increase in y, which is the value k, over the increase in x. So the value of k is the difference between the y's, divided by the increase in the x's. So it would be the difference between these two x's. So there's the formula for all these points then. So let's try this first of all, this Q1. This is the point 2 and 4. And we're going to start with Q being 3, 9, so it's quite a distance away. So the increase in y would be 9 minus 4. The increase in x would be 3 minus 2. That gradient is 5. 5 over 2, which 5 over 3 minus 2. Oh, I'll get it right in a minute. Let me just go back. 3 minus 2. I was getting ahead of myself there. 5 over 1, which is 5. Next one, if we go make this a bit closer then, what gradient will we have then? Well, the increase in y is 6.25 minus 4, which is 2.25, over the increase in x, 2.5 minus 2 is 0.5. And if we tap that in a calculator, we'll get 4.5. The next one, 4.84 minus 4 is 0.84. That's the increase in y. The increase in x is 0.2. And that comes out on a calculator at 4.2. So the gradients are going down in value, aren't they, as you can see as that triangle gets smaller. They're approaching a certain value at the tangent. The next one, 4.41 minus 4 is 0.41. Over the 2.1 over minus 2 is 0.1. So what do we get there? 4.1 on the calculator. And then the next one, if we tap that in, we'll get 4.01, and here we'll get 4.001. So we can see from this investigation, as Q tends to P, the gradient of the tangent, gradient of the slope of the triangle tends towards the gradient of PQ, and it tends to 4. So we can see that these numbers tend to 4. So gradient of PQ equals tangent, the tangential gradient has gradient 4. I'll put it up here. Equals 4, because it tended to 4.